Welcome, everybody, to Friday night USL Championship action. The perfect way to start what is going to be a soccer-filled weekend at MSU Soccer Park. The New York Red Bulls, too, for the first time ever hosting one of the 7 2019 USL Championship expansion teams, Memphis 901 FC. I'm David Goss, joined today by Sachi Hott, former New York Red Bull player, U.S. Youth International. Sachi, what are you looking forward to today?
Well, we got a high-pressing New York Red Bulls team coming out against a relatively new expansion team, trying to find their identity, so it should be fun.
Should be an interesting one. Both coaches have said we don't really know what's going to happen in this one. 4 star players for Memphis, a familiar name to these parts. Dan Metzger, the all-time leader in Red Bull 2 appearances. Sachi, a guy you know well.
Dan has played with me through the youth academy, and I know him as a hard-nosed midfielder. You know, he's had unfortunate injuries throughout his life, so let's see how he bounces back against his old former club.
Former USL champion with New York Red Bulls 2, and on the flip side, his nemesis in center midfield, Chris Lima.
Chris Lima is one of the most silky smooth players in the USL. You know, he's one of the more talented on this Red Bull team. Let's see how he dazzles us tonight.
Chris Lima is going to try and hold the fort here. Both teams coming out in new formations, trying to throw a wrinkle into this one. We'll see what it's like. The first time ever, Memphis 901 FC face off against New York Red Bulls 2. It should be a good one. Coming up here on ESPN+.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
White gets his first of the game.
Lancaster denied by Laurel.
His low shot off the post and in. Jared Stroud's got his hat trick. New York Red Bulls 2 take a 4-goal lead. The fans starting to fill in here for beautiful Friday night action as we enter spring in New Jersey. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams. For Memphis 901 FC, a late scratch, Abdi Mohammed entering the starting lineup due to an injury to Wes Sharpie in warmups just a few moments ago. So he'll start at right back. And then for Coach Tim Mulqueen, still figuring out what his best lineup will look like. We'll see what it looks like out here on the field. And on the flip side, this is not what it will be exactly for New York Red Bulls 2. It will be a 4-2-2-2, so a new formation for Coach Wolenek. You'll see Ben Mines and Jared Stroud sitting behind Brian White and Tom Barlow up top. And there he is, Sachi, the man since day one for New York Red Bulls 2, John Wolenek.
John Wolenek's done a good job with this New York Red Bulls 2 team in developing talent, you know, to push them into the pro ranks. Tim Mulqueen is he's a former coach of mine with the U20s. I know that he's going to have his guys working really hard for him tonight.
Tim Mulqueen, back in his native New Jersey, a native of Woodbridge Township, just about 30 miles away from here, as you see our head official, Matthew Thompson, for this one. Tim Mulqueen, though, a New Jersey soccer legend, helped coach a guy named Tim Howard, who's now one of the owners of this Memphis 901 FC team. Another New Jersey native, and Tim Mulqueen for him. Former US U17, U20, Olympic coach, Metro Stars, Kansas City Wizards, Orlando City, and now here, one of the most experienced guys in U.S. soccer, and now he gets a chance to be a head coach of his own team.
Yeah, he's one of the most respected guys in U.S. soccer, and I think this is going to be one of his first chances in a while at the pro ranks, so let's see how he does with this team.
This Memphis 901 FC squad coming off their franchise's first ever victory, a 1-0 win last weekend at Bethlehem Steel FC, as they get us going here in their road white tops with white shorts. New York Red Bulls 2 in their home reds here at MSU Soccer Park. The third straight home game to start the season for New York Red Bulls 2. Shaun Ellis coming over to make the first play there. So for Memphis 901 FC, I mentioned with that injury, forced to move things around here just moments before coming off on the field. Sachi, how does that affect how this team starts now? You have your 18, your starting 11 probably 24 hours ago, and then it changes just moments before you step out there.
Well, I think they have a general plan that everyone on the 18 knows going into this game. So it looks like, you know, they're coming out strong, and I think all the players 1 through 18 know that.
White losing possession there. Adam Najem now on the ball. Missed the last game as he was away with the Afghanistan national team. He begins his international career.
Adam's another former Red Bull player. He played with me in the youth academy as well, so it's nice to see him also play against one of his ex-clubs.
A guy who broke your ankles a time or two?
We'll keep that quiet.
Sachi Hott, of course, as he said, part of the Red Bull Academy, playing at Boston College professionally and now doing a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
But joining us here today, and we're glad to have you up here in the booth for this one. If you have any questions for him, you can jump on Twitter or anywhere else and shoot them his way as New York Red Bulls 2 get this one going. Jean-Christophe Kofi stepping in there. He puts that one out. Kofi, acquired from DC United by New York Red Bulls, making his second appearance here in USL play. The gem now.
So David, right there on the throw-in is exactly where Red Bulls want them, because they tuck in and, you know, they keep them into that corner and try to high press them and force a turnover. And that's exactly what they did.
Mark Birch coming over to clean up that play. Now a long ball down the middle for Daly to run onto. Eventually falling here to the feet of Loro.
That's a good start from Jordan Scarlett. He's going to have that all game. I feel like they're going to be going straight direct, try to beat that pressure.
So Coach Wolnick said new formation 4-2-2-2. Sachi, for fans out there, what does that mean?
Well, you know, New York Red Bulls have their identity, and they try to jam it up the middle and try to high press. So you can expect to see that, you know, a narrow field where they're just going to try to use their numbers in the middle of the park.
Scarlett down the wing for Rito. Ricardo Rito, his second appearance with New York Red Bulls 2 out of Venezuela. Ben Mines, his cross is blocked. And Metzger is able to get a first touch to it. You mentioned the injury bugs for Dan Metzger. Tore his ACL after coming off a 6-month knee injury in his first year with New York Red Bulls 2, fought back and ended up winning the 2016 USL Championship with New York Red Bulls 2. Has then moved around to some of the most successful teams in the USL Championship, spending 2018 with Penn FC, and now in the inaugural season with Memphis 901. Hectic start here. Jared Stroud on the ball, one-on-one with Abdi Mohammed. Could help defensively. Kofi able to find the feet of Mines. Mines too softly hit for White. One of the other things Coach Wolenek said to us was Brian White gets a goal last weekend, Tom Barlow 2 goals the first week. So a way to fit 2 strikers into the lineup. You end up with this 4-2-2-2 system.
For sure, for sure. Notice how Memphis, once they're in their own half, they're trying to play direct to their number 9, and he's got a
ball over the top. Barlow not able to catch up to it. Rashawn Daly, rookie out of Quinnipiac, already getting called into Jamaican full national team camps. He has the role as the lone striker up top for Memphis.
Yeah, he's so important for Memphis because he's got to hold that ball up.
We'll continue to look for support from the guys around him. Looks like Morgan Hackworth as well, alongside Adam Najem in the attack, and Dwayne Muckett. Scarlett with the long touch. It ends up the feet of Rito.
Dave, this is super interesting because most of the games that I've come to, a lot of the opposing teams have sat in, but Memphis looks like they're coming out with a half press and not just conceding possession. So let's see how this plays out.
For Coach Mulqueen, brand new soccer team. You put 22 guys together for the first time, just the 4th game ever. We said coming off their first win. When you start from blank, what do you do? What are the first steps that you do to try and get a team to come together?
I think before any of the tactical stuff, you try to get the guys to gel together and get to know each other personally and build a locker room first. And then you build upon that to build the soccer team. And I think that's the first job that Tim has to do. And it takes some time. You know, that's not something you just get overnight.
You've had experience scouting players, trying to bring them in to fit into a system. What is it that you go out and you're looking for? What is it that you say to these players when you're trying to bring them into a project that hasn't existed before?
Well, I feel like for professional soccer players, a new project always sounds a lot more fun. So I think Mulqueen's got a little advantage there. So
blank slate, no negatives to bring players in.
Yeah, exactly.
Free kick going in favor of Memphis 901. And the first player they brought in for Memphis 901, Mark Birch.
With experience.
Ton of experience. How do you use a guy like that?
Well, he's going to be controlling that locker room, right, and trying to help these younger guys adjust to Tim Mulqueen's plans. But usually you start off with defenders, right? The cliche of defense wins championships is so true because if you're not giving up any goals, then you always have a chance. So I think that Tim Mulqueen bringing in Mark Birch was a very, very good signing.
And Birch, a longtime left back in Major League Soccer, played with Tim Howard in Colorado, now playing as a left center back for this team, showing you the value of that experience.
Yeah, I think, center backs typically can play into their late, 30s, and that's just because they have experience. The further back you go in the field, the older players get. So, Mark being a little bit older compared to everyone else, it helps in a experienced way.
Mohammed curls this cross in. Knocked away by Scarlett. Abdi Mohammed technically on the books for NYCFC right now, on loan for the season with Memphis 901, so a chance for him to come back and play in the New York, New Jersey area. Lima clips that one away. Mohammed and Jeff Caldwell both on loan from NYCFC.
Memphis with a good start to this game. Very confident. They're coming out to play. They're not intimidated. And that's Tim Mulqueen getting these guys ready.
Ball aimlessly played into the middle of the field and now recovered by Tristan Hodge. Hodge, one of a number of full international players on this Memphis team from Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica. Multiple guys who were out there on the field when Trinidad and Tobago beat the U.S. national team 2-1 in World Cup qualifying, which was one of the most heartbreaking days in USMNT fans' history, but we won't talk about that. anymore. Buckmaster launches this one up the field. Brian White in the battle with Grandison. And
That's
now
a great ball.
New York playing back out. Ewan Granderson, one of the experienced heads in this central midfield. Back here on the ball. Grandison out of Maypen, Jamaica, 12 caps with the Jamaican national team. And you look at on the flip side for New York, we've got Ben Mines in midfield, who's just 18 years old. Shows you the difference between these two rosters in places.
Now you see the trouble with that 4-2-2 is that you expose the wings, the outside of the field. So now Memphis has a chance to attack down the right flank and the left flank.
Hackworth into the box, cross all the way through. Second shot, and it's put in. Onside, and it'll count. Memphis 901 FC take the lead. It's the former New York Red Bull Academy player, Adam Jem. He hurts his old team once again. Cross coming in from Morgan Hackworth on the far side, Sachi, and New York Red Bulls 2 scrambling defensively before Najem puts it away.
Yeah, that's where Memphis can hurt them, is on the wings. You know, Red Bulls are pretty much jamming the midfield and letting them play through the wings, and now they paid the price for that.
Just the third goal in the history of this Memphis 901 FC team. But what a beautiful one for Adam Najem. Out of the New York Red Bull Academy, which traded to the Philadelphia Union. Came back, scored his first professional soccer goal here at MSU Soccer Park in 2017, his first year with Bethlehem. Last year had 3 goals and 15 appearances for that team. What a great moment for the native.
Let's see how this New York Red Bulls team respond, because I believe in the first 10 minutes it's pretty much been all Memphis here. So Red Bulls look a little shell-shocked. They seem to not be playing their system. Let's see how they can react to that goal. Maybe that wakes them up. We'll see.
And for Coach Mulqueen, first game, he loses at home. Second game, you get a draw. Third game, you go on the road, you get a win 1-0. And now you take a 1-0 lead. So you can see what he's trying to build and how they're starting to get more comfortable.
Oh, yeah. That tells you a lot about a team, the road games. You know, that's where your character is truly tested. So it's a good start for Memphis so far.
As we said, a lot of players here with either comfort playing in this area or connections to this area that have a lot to prove. Adam Najem, one of the big ones. A chance for New York Red Bulls too. As you said, to show what they have. They trailed in their home opener here against Swope Park Rangers before coming back for the win. They trailed in their last game here against Nashville as Daly shot goes into the arms of Loro before they came back for a tie. Lima pressed on the top of the box by Metzger.
There's that silky smoothness.
A young Spanish-American showing off exactly why Sachi Hawk comes out to watch him play.
Yes, he is silky.
Marito.
This is much better for the Red Bulls now. Guess they're getting into the game little by little.
For New York Red Bulls too, it's always a tight line to walk where they don't want possession because they want to press, but you need possession to control games.
Right, of course. I think Memphis is happy now with that first goal, so now they can sit in a little bit and, you know, tell Red Bulls, come at us.
Tim Mulqueen returning to his native New Jersey, where he was one of the most successful goalkeeper coaches in the country. Ball almost sneaks through for Barlow. Now Mines with some space. His ball will roll out for a goal kick.
Hey, so when Red Bulls get that ball on top of the box, they're directly looking for that run in behind the defense, as opposed to having the outside backs attack and trying to find the ball wide for a cross. So that's what we're going to see a lot of tonight, is balls being jammed right behind the defense.
New York Red Bulls too. Put in a lot of crosses against Nashville in their last game. So Coach Wolenek going with the formation change this time. Those two forwards to play off each other. Flying forward now. Stroud with some space. He hits the shot, and it's just wide of the far post.
So that's where they're going to find the space on top of the box in front of the defense. It's either a shot or it's going to be someone running off the back fours behind the back, and it's either going to be slipped in for a goal or a shot, or it's going to be one of these.
Stroud, the team leader in assists last year, was top 5 in USL. This year, expected to take even more ownership of the attack. As Barlow now in a foot race with Pratzner. Pratzner, one of the players that knows both this league and this New York Red Bull 2 team very well, as he spent the last 2 years under Bob Lilly in Rochester and in Pittsburgh.
Chris Lima with a late run in behind the defense.
Kofi pushing it back for Scarlett. Right now, Memphis 901 has all 11 players in their own defensive third. Trying to keep their lines clean.
This is going to become a lot tougher for New York Red Bulls now because there's not much space in behind the defense. So we're going to expect to see a lot more shots.
Buckmaster getting forward. Buckmaster naturally a right back, playing at left back today. One position of shortage for New York Red Bulls too.
Now you see how many players are tucked into that box. It's going to be tough to make any small link-up passes in there.
Lima's cross is easily swept away. And now Metzger with the steal.
Nice. That's the Red Bull press.
Select is the official supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
Ooh, trouble.
Miscommunication there between Scarlett and Rito. And now Memphis 901 able to clear their lines a little and push higher up the field. Mohammed starting against Bethlehem at left back, starting here, as we said, in an emergency at right back, but a versatile player. Played in defensive midfield at Ohio State in college as well before transferring to Akron. That ball gets knocked away. So Sachi, about 15 minutes or so played in this one. The 1-0 lead for Memphis. Happy with the start. What do you think Coach Wolenek will think about what he's seen so far?
I think that they just have to stick to the script and stick to the Red Bull DNA style of soccer. I think they didn't start off that way. I'm not sure why, but as the game is moving along, I think they're getting better and better.
For this Memphis 901 team.
Well, they scored the first goal. Oh.
Chance here, and Jared Stroud hits the volley. We wondered where it come from for New York Red Bulls, too. Jared Stroud taking a page out of Derek Etienne's book, and he puts that one in on the far side. Long cross comes in from the homegrown Ben Mines, and Stroud there to bury it.
Stroud, yeah, he's following the play. You know, he's staying connected at the end of the back of the post. You know, clean finish, left foot, inside of the foot. That was awesome.
You talked about where they'd find the width for crosses in this one for New York Red Bulls, too. Really the first deep cross we've seen in this game. Stroud able to find some room on the far post.
Right.
Jared Stroud gets his first goal of the season. Stroud, as I said, led the team in assists last year with 11, had 7 goals as well out of Colgate University, a Red Bull Academy player.
Now it's back to 1-1. Now let's see how both teams react. Memphis came out flying from the start. Now Red Bulls answered. Let's see how both teams react.
Rito charging forward. This is what we wanted, right?
Yeah,
Sachi?
man. Yeah. This is awesome.
High-powered soccer between these two teams. You have experience and some of the best players in the region on Memphis 901 and for New York Red Bulls too.
I'm telling you, this New York Red Bulls team is fun to watch. 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, you know. Credit to both of these guys.
It is one team that always comes out to play. They're not ever going to bunker in.
Nope. They're going to put on a show.
And hope to sneak out with the result. And Memphis 901 seems up for the task in this one.
I call them the Harlem Globetrotters of USL.
The Jersey Globetrotters.
Yeah, exactly. The Jersey, the Montclair Globetrotters.
Always have to rep your region.
Yep.
Oh, a great start for these two teams in this one. Two teams that have struggled to score so far this season. What a bright start to this one. Kofi now with a little bit of space charging forward. Sneaks it into the feet of Mines. And Mines earns the free kick. Ben Mines getting his first start of the season, just 18 years old. Homegrown signing for New York Red Bulls. Started 9 times last year.
Let's see who's going to line up for this one, Lima or Stroud. This is perfect. This is a perfect spot for a free kick taker.
Jordan Scarlett, the center back, in there, right? As a center back, you just have to get around and see if maybe someone will give you a shot.
Yeah. I think he's just going there for some camera time.
Jordan Scarlett, the longest tenured New York Red Bull 2 player. Dan Metzger, of course, on Memphis 901. The leader in appearances in New York Red Bull 2 history. Looks like it will be Lima or Stroud. Whether it's the left or right foot. Shot coming here. Jeff Caldwell to deal with. It'll be the left-footed strike. Took a deflection, and it'll go out for a corner kick. It'll be Lima over to take this corner as we see the replay of his shot taking a deflection off the wall. It'll be Lima's outswinger here. Hit low to the near post, headed away by Birch. Kofi immediately gets back into possession. Easily handled there by Memphis. Kofi looking once more for Rito, and he can't run that one down. So you can hear Coach Mulqueen talking to his team. You said it, the first 10 minutes was all Memphis. They came out, they get the goal, and then they dropped off and tried to keep their lines clean. Now 25 or so minutes in, what do you want to see from them? What do you think Coach Mulqueen wants to see from them over the next few minutes, the final part of this first half?
Well, now is when the players truly get tested. I think, like I said, they started off hot. Red Bulls responded, but now it's back to an even game. I think Mulqueen still wants to expose the New York Red Bull wings because of Stroud and Mines tucking in so close.
Ben Mines there, taking a knock off the ball and getting up. Ben Mines, just 18 years old, but seems to have something about him that other players just do not like, has drawn or given up red cards consistently in his young career.
I think that's the Red Bull DNA. They want players that are feisty, that are young, and that have confidence in themselves. You know, and Ben Mines shows all of that. You know, he's a young player playing with some of the grown-ups here, and he doesn't back down to anything.
Was committed to Stanford, chose instead to sign a deal with New York Red Bulls, scored a goal in his Major League Soccer debut last year against the Portland Timbers. Has appeared now over 30 times for New York Red Bulls too. Daly and the Gem working out a tight space. Lima now gets it back for New York.
I think one of the main reasons why these games are so interesting is that both teams are looking vertical and never horizontal. I think both teams, once they get the ball, they're trying to find the next level whenever they play. So that creates a sort of back and forth, which is super exciting. Whereas, you know, maybe in the MLS level, it's a little more horizontal, a little more possession. Here it's just, you know, right away, straight forward. And that's, that's exciting for the fans, especially the young people that are out here and watching. Hopefully one day they become professional soccer players.
And you're a guy who, from an area, played in an academy, then joined the professional team. What does it mean to you now that there's these structures where you can grow up, going to games, play in an academy, join a USL team, and eventually maybe playing?
It makes me envious, man. I wish we had this. We used to play at Giant Stadium in the bubble on a football field, and now these kids are playing on a beautiful, regular soccer field that's made for the professional level.
Yeah, but you played with Thierry Henry, so you don't get to complain about anything.
True.
When you work as a coach, you work as a scout, when you see the level around the country right now compared to what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, what do you see?
Oh, it's that much better. It's so much better, I'm telling you.
Barlow over the top, looking for Brian White, and Caldwell reads that one to perfection.
I think watching our U.S. men's national team the other night kind of just tells you where, we've been taking steps forward and we're getting better. And we just, like Joel Embiid says, trust the process. That's what it is.
Now we're mixing too much stuff over here.
That's what you're going to get with me.
Yeah, you've got Embiid coaching the national team.
Trust the process. We're going to get better every year. Every year we're going to get better.
And we have seen the USL be one of the driving forces of that improvement. Tyler Adams, the first signing in New York Red Bull 2 history, getting a start against Ecuador, and that victory in the first set of that U.S. national team camp. He, of course, now back overseas with Red Bull Leipzig. Memphis 901 FC going to be a major part of this as well, hosting their home games at AutoZone Park in front of thousands of fans. Birch serves this one in. Nealis has to head it away at the far post. Fans, you can follow New York Red Bulls 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Chance to turn in the box there from Daly, but New York Red Bulls 2 defensively able to fight it away. Adam Najem, his second goal against his former club in the 11th minute to give Memphis 901 the lead. Jared Stroud responding 7 minutes later. Off the feed by Ben Mines.
That was a tough ball from Jordan to try to break about 2 lines right there.
You mentioned that vertical nature of the USL and for these two teams. As a center back, if an away team comes in and they're sitting in, what is it that you're supposed to do?
Well, just complete your passes. I think that there's players in the midfield and in the attacking half that are responsible for making the harder passes. Whereas guys like Shaun Ellis and Jordan Scarlett just need to connect their passes. And then if they're feeling it and they're in the groove and they feel like they can break lines, then I think, take your risks. But, the way that Memphis is playing tonight, it looks like, they're packing the middle and they're making it hard for the center backs to break those lines.
Scarlett, as I said, the longest tenured Red Bull 2 player, Shaun Ellis, his first year out of Hofstra University. Still a little green behind the ears at this professional soccer level. The jam back to the feet of Mohammed. Daly, drafted by FC Cincinnati, will spend the season on loan with Memphis 901 FC. Tim Mulqueen really drawing players from all across the world to put together this first ever roster. But right now, he could be on the verge of going undefeated in his first 2 road games. The Gem not able to sneak that one through for Hackett. This one will find his teammates' feet. Early cross for Hackworth. Hackworth has some space in the box. Nealis closes it down. Najem back on the ball. Daly looking to turn, and the final shot gets blocked. Still alive in the 18. A dangerous moment there from Rito, who went sliding in the box at the feet of Najem and he'll finally go out for a corner.
Rito took a risk there, and it paid off. Otherwise, it could have possibly been a penalty if he didn't get it perfectly.
Dangerous moments here. Scarlett sends that one back towards his own goal. Lucky to see Laurel get his hands on it.
He meant to do that.
Spoken like a true center back.
Mm-hmm.
You see Scarlett here. He was asking for the push after the play. Our head official, Matthew Thompson. No call there. Versace. Some dangerous moments there for Memphis. Every time they've gotten around the 18, the New York Red Bulls Stu backline has looked a little nervous.
They've looked a little nervous. You're right. Memphis is doing a good job in this game. You know, they really are playing with confidence. You know, they're not sitting in and just letting Red Bull dictate the game. They're doing an excellent job coming after him.
Laurel with the long ball here finds his teammate in Stroud. Stroud trying to be a little too cute. One of the keys to the late season success last year for New York Red Bulls.
Now take a look how much ground Jared Stroud has to cover over here. He's got to come all the way back here, and now he's expected to get forward.
Mines now on the ball. Stroud and Kofi try and join him. Gets it into the feet of White. That one knocked away.
Well done.
Buckmaster reads that one. Stroud now finally back on the ball. Now a chance for New York Red Bulls too to knock it around in a little bit of possession. Buckmaster has space. Floats it into the middle of the box. It's won it right before Barlow's head. And then Caldwell comes out to get it.
Memphis had about their whole team in the box on that play. And it's going to be hard to break them down inside the box. Crosses like that are going to unlock them. It's a great step by Jordan.
Hodge trying to clip it over the top.
See, Memphis is finding that right back every single time. That system and that 4-2-2 is, there's some pros and cons to it. And I think Memphis know that, and they're trying to expose the flaw of the 4-2-2.
Rito almost fell asleep there. There's a lot of twos in there. I can
there's too many twos.
Yeah. Rito almost fell asleep on the far side there. Ben Mines now down. And for Ben Mines, young professional career, but one that has been stunted by injuries consistently. Just 18 years old. What have you seen this game just in his career for Ben Mines?
I've watched him at the youth academy games, and man, does he play with confidence. And, you know, he's not afraid to drive at players with quickness. You know, his change of direction is phenomenal, you know, and that's something special in players when you can get an attacking player to be willing to take on a defender at every single time he gets the ball. He's trying to take on a defender. So that shows that he has a lot of confidence in himself, and that's what you need at the higher levels.
As we take a look here, the replay, Ben Mines pulling up behind the play. Where do you see him for his professional career? Is he a forward? Is he a winger? Is he a guy maybe that gets pulled farther in and plays as a 10?
I think he could possibly be a utility guy where you can see him in the middle, but he can also fit the winger role too. I don't see him as a 10, you know, just because of his style. He's better fitted to take guys one-on-one, you know, and slow the game down and then just hit him with a quick burst and get a cross in or a shot. So I think he's got that natural athleticism to take people on and leave defenders in the dust.
And as you said, the success at the youth levels. He was the Golden Boot winner at the GA Cup in 2017, the national championships for MLS Academy teams, 5 goals, including against some of the best European, South American, and Mexican clubs in the world. Mines over now talking to the trainer next to Coach Wolnick. We'll see if there's a substitution coming.
Here
Derek
it is
Etienne
again.
Jr., a late addition to the roster, is on the bench. Mohamed once again, as Saji Hot says, another cross. 11 on 10 right now for Memphis. Passing there to open up that New York Red Bull 2 team. Some other options on the bench, Marcus Epps, who already has a goal and 2 assists this year in USL play. We'll see what Coach Wolenek chooses to do. Opportunity here for Daly to turn on this one. And he puts that one well over the supporter section.
Those crosses seem to be the kryptonite for Red Bulls tonight. The outside backs got to stay in tune with the game. They can't just let players, slide in behind them, because that's how Adam Najem ended up with a goal. So I think a little bit of concentration could help out the Red Bulls here.
You mentioned Stroud having to cover all that ground. Mines in that
it's tough.
Second two as well. Well, what do you do to help them? Or is it just at some point your formation isn't working, you got to change it?
It's tough because his starting position is so, central, and then he's forced to run all the way out to the sideline. Then we end up getting the ball, and then he's got to sprint another 50 yards towards goal, and you can only go so long doing that. And I think Memphis has figured that out, and I think that they're trying to get Mohamed into the game as much as possible.
So Ben Mines' night will be done. Derek Etienne Jr. has his warm-up off, and he's ready to come on at midfield. Etienne wearing the captain's armband last week in the 1-1 draw against Nashville. Etienne Jr., a New York Red Bull homegrown player as well. Has been a part of New York Red Bulls too since the start of this team. Sashi, what should fans look for when you watch Derek Etienne Jr. play?
Let's see what he can bring to this team, if he can figure this out for the attacking half, because Memphis they have their whole team in the box, and you need someone special to unlock them. So let's see if Derek Etienne can unlock them with his, I wouldn't say silky smooth, but he's got some tools.
Etienne Jr. a little bit more of a dribbler maybe than Ben Mines, who's got that pure speed.
Yeah, exactly. When you have speed and teams are just sitting in the box, it really becomes nullified because there's only so much space. So you need a little more dribblers when teams are just sitting in.
Free kick will go against Edgardo Rito there. Rito, 23 years old, out of Venezuela. Picked up over this offseason, so in his first year. Derek Etienne Jr., a Haitian full international, spending time with both New York Red Bulls and New York Red Bulls 2 over the last few years. Came on the scene hot for New York Red Bulls 2 and then has slowly started to find himself at the pro level.
Yeah, again, that comes with time and, getting used to what the coach wants from you, because at the end of the day, you have to respond to what the coach needs from you in order to complete the system. And I think that Derek Etienne, he has the tools and the DNA to be a Red Bull type of player. He's just got to prove it day in and day out. And I think that, he'll become a success if he just keeps doing that.
We'll see what type of injury concern this is for Memphis 901. Don't forget, Wes Sharpie, the starting right back for this game, was injured in warm-ups. So Memphis 901 FC already down a defender going into this one. Abdi Mohamed getting the late start. And right now it looks like Tristan Hodge, the Trinidad and Tobago international at left back, is the one down with injury. So Morgan Hackworth coming over to fill time at that left back spot, as Coach Wolenek complains to the fourth official, as he does so well.
He's so good at that.
John Wolenek, a legend out of Staten Island, played at Fordham before a long professional career, mainly with the New York Metro Stars. But if you ever talk about soccer around him, at some point he'll mention, oh yeah, I played for them for like a week. Stroud's pass is intercepted. And it looks like Hodge back on the field. So those injury concerns alleviated for Memphis 901.
Here we're going to have a 2-on-1.
The Gem charging forward, finds the feet of Hackworth. Hackworth trying to return it, Buckmaster is able to read that one, and he puts it out for the throw-in.
You see David and the Gems and the Mohammed are flanking up the right side. Buckmaster is left by himself in a 2v1. So it's clear that Memphis know that, and they're trying to expose that.
Coach Wolnick playing this formation for the first time here in 2019. Metzger, good feet in midfield to open it up. That one a through ball for Hackworth, but just a little too far. Morgan Hackworth, of course, the son of John Hackworth, current Louisville City head coach, longtime USU 17 head coach in Philadelphia Union. Not bad pedigree for a young soccer player.
No, not bad at all.
Hackworth spending time at Syracuse University in Akron, winning a national championship at Akron, and here now in his first year as a professional soccer player.
Lima's got to get on the ball and see if he can unlock this defense. You know, he's not seeing enough, especially in this system. He's got to get on the ball a little more.
You can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for New York Red Bulls 2 and Memphis 901 FC. Then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on New York Red Bulls 2 next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Memphis 901 in their first ever road trip as a franchise. They've got one more game. They still head to Dave Sarakin's NCFC team coming up in a week in North Carolina. They'll be back home at AutoZone Park, where they got an amazing crowd for their first ever game against Tampa Bay to host Atlanta United 2 in a few weeks.
Grandison is doing a great job for Memphis, just, you know, disturbing every New York Red Bulls attack. You know, he's covering a lot of ground. Red Bulls are finding it hard to really establish any kind of play.
Sachi, for you, so far in this one, who stood out for New York Red Bulls too?
For the twos, that's a tough question because I don't think that anyone is really playing to potential right now. I think that I'd be lying to you if I told you anyone was better than another player, because I know this team. You know, I've watched them so many times, and I think that all of them have a high ceiling, and they're really not playing it right now.
Spoken like a true coach.
Yeah, you know, because I expect them to do a lot better.
You mentioned Grandison. Who else for Memphis have you been impressed by?
Well, Adam Najem is doing great. You know, he's doing a great job just finding pockets and being awkward. You know, it looks like he's got a free roll here, so his movement off the ball is kind of, you know, just getting Red Bulls out of shape over here.
Lima with the early cross, knocked down, finally cleared. Muckett able to get it out. But Najem, every time he's gotten on or around the ball, good things have happened for this Memphis team. Adam, as we said, coming through the academy alongside his brother David Najem, who played 2 years for New York Red Bulls too, out of Columbia University. Now down with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, still in the USL Championship. Pretty impressive soccer family.
Yeah, we played with both. On the off seasons, we all get together, all the local professionals, and Adam and David both come to play every off season, and it's quite astonishing that both brothers are just as good as each other. You know, it's great to see. Here it is.
Adam, successful career at Akron, now showing off at the pro ranks. Space here for Najem. Finds Muckett. Metzger with the long strike gets blocked. Loro can't keep it from going out. So it'll be a late corner kick here. Final few minutes of this first half. New York Red Bulls 2 hosting Memphis 901 FC for the first time ever in the USL Championship. David Goss and Sachi Hot on the call for you on ESPN Plus. We've got a look around the league coming up at halftime. It's going to be a special weekend in USL Championship. A new stadium coming on board. Some big rivalries finally kicking off as we start to roll here in the early part of the 2019 season. But first, Corner kick opportunity coming for Memphis. The Gem, our goal scorer, will take it. Clip to the near post, headed away by White. And now New York Red Bulls, too, look to clear their lines. Buckmaster swapping sides of the field. He turns it over to Mohammed.
Mohammed's also had a great game for Memphis so far.
And for a guy who'd found out he was starting in this game about 20 minutes before he went on the field.
Right. You know, that's not bad for a guy that was literally found out 20 minutes before the game.
Etienne Jr. here. The injury substitution for Ben Mines, who did get an assist in this one. So for Mines, continues to add to his USL numbers now with 3 goals and 3 assists in his career.
So the longer Red Bulls hold on to the ball, the more time Memphis has to get back on defense and get into their starting position. So, you know, Red Bulls got to find a way to attack as quick as possible here. So this works out for Memphis here because they have so many guys behind the ball.
Minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time. The early cross played in, spilled, and Tom Barlow gets his 3rd of the season in the dying moments of the first half. Coach Wolenek said he couldn't decide between Brian White and Tom Barlow. Created a new formation to get both these guys in the team, and Tom Barlow makes it worth it for Coach Wolenek. You can see Jeff Caldwell coming out trying to clear that one. Almost a collision with Birch and White, and Barlow there. The first time this season you've got 2 target forwards in there to make chaos.
Yeah, because, you know, Johnny might be expecting them to, you know, put in so many numbers in the box, and maybe you do need 2 forwards in there. You know, imagine having 1 forward and 1 target in the box. You know, it's going to be that much harder. So, you know, maybe it is going to work for them.
So Tom Barlow now, 2 goals against Swope Park Rangers in the opener, gets his 3rd here today. In just his 2nd year professional soccer out of the University of Wisconsin. Mark Birch to take this free kick in a dangerous spot, and Laurel falls over it. So Sachi, late goal here for Tim Mulqueen. You've coached. You have your ideas of what you want to say. How does it now change his halftime talk?
Because I thought that they played a good half. You know, I think that's unfortunate that to give up that goal right before the half is super unfortunate, because I think they did stick to the plan and they were playing well. But, you know, in soccer, sometimes when you play well, you don't always win, you know. So, you know, he's got to get these guys back to playing the same way in the second half, and he'll have his chances.
Can you go in after giving up a goal like that and say, guys, forget it, we're doing well, or do you have to react to it?
Well, you know, that's when character is truly tested. We'll see, you know, what Memphis has, what kind of heart these players have.
Stroud here battling. Stroud puts the cross in. Metzger is able to clear it out of his box. Jared Stroud equalized just 7 minutes after Adam Najem's opener to start this one. New York Red Bulls 2 take their first lead of the game in the 46th minute. As it looks like we are headed towards a halftime locker room. We can guarantee this. It's going to be fun here in the second half as former Academy teammates in the Gem and Laurel collide. And now Shaun Ellis showing all extra 2 feet and 50 pounds of muscle against the Gem.
I bet you they text each other after the game. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in this one, as Najem was putting a little bit of pressure on. Ended up making contact with Laurel, and Laurel still down, holding the back of his head, but should, in the end, be okay for Evan Laura. We'll see how Matthew Thompson wants to deal with this one. Amlikar Sekuhu and Justin Lopez, his assistant referees, Wojciech Leo Zach, his fourth official, and it'll be a yellow card to Najem, the first card of the game. So a full stat sheet for Adam Najem, a goal and a yellow card.
Shows you how much this game means to him, man. You know, he probably has no shot at getting that ball, but he's chasing it down because, you know, he wants his team to win and he wants his team to score.
And he wants to show off against his old team.
He might have wanted to get a kick in to Evan, too.
Evan Loro and Adam Najem shaking hands there. They've known each other for quite a while. Two Red Bull Academy players coming up through the ranks year after year, playing U.S. Youth National Team as well together. And now Nealis and Najem talking a little. If you're Coach Wolenek, you get that late goal, but for large stretches of this first half, you struggled. What's his message? What's his focus at halftime?
Oh, I think that he's going to give him a good talking at halftime, as he should, you know, because like we said before, these guys aren't playing to their potential. And, you know, I think they got lucky here in the first half. You know, usually these guys are way better than this. So let's see how Wally gets them to come out in the second half. But this halftime talk shouldn't be pleasant.
Well, that is the final whistle for this one. We thought it would be a good one, and we were right. 3 goals in the first half, 2 in the first 18 minutes of this one. Tim Mulqueen returning to his native New Jersey with his first-year team. Got an 11th-minute lead, but wasn't able to hang on. A late go-ahead goal from Tom Barlow in the first half gives New York Red Bulls 2 a 2-1 lead. Heading in to the halftime whistle, Barlow, his 3rd goal of the season. We expect a good second half coming up. We'll take a look at first half highlights, first half stats, and we'll take a quick look around the USL Championship. Austin Bold getting ready to come online in their brand new stadium against a Texas rival. Real Monarchs surging in the West, and a lot more going on. It's going to be a good weekend of USL Championship soccer on ESPN+. We've got a great start to it here at MSU Soccer Park. We'll be back in just a moment here on ESPN+.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
Brian White gets his first of the game.
Lancaster denied by Laurel.
His most shot off the post and in. Jared Stroud's got his hat trick. New York Red Bulls 2 take a 4-goal lead. The lights are on. Springtime has arrived. A beautiful evening for soccer to get the weekend started here at MSU Soccer Park. David Goss and Sachi Hot on the call for you as New York Red Bulls 2 lead at halftime. We talked about a couple star players coming into this one. Dan Metzger coming back to his old club, breaking up the attack in that midfield.
Yeah, he's done a good job sitting in front of the back four, you know, breaking up and disrupting the Red Bulls attack. You know, he's one of the last guys getting into that Memphis attack as well. So, you know, he's done a really good job tonight.
And on the flip side, Dan Metzger going against Chris Lima. You wanted to see him show his skills in this one. What have you seen?
Yeah, I think Chris Lima's got to get on the ball a little more and, dazzle us, like I said before the game. I think that he's such a big part of this New York Red Bulls offense, and he's one of the guys that really got to be able to thread that needle for these guys, especially with a team that's sitting in so far back. You need skilled and talented players to break them down.
How much credit do you give to Grandison as well as Metzger in taking away that space?
Right, so that's a domino effect there. Metzger and Grandison have done a good job of, covering ground and just disrupting the New York Red Bulls. And it's almost a two versus one in the midfield with Chris Lima, so he's got a tough task in front of him.
Lima in his second year with New York Red Bulls, 27 games last year, former U.S. Youth International with the U17s and U20s, part of what has become a pipeline of New York Red Bull Academy players to Georgetown. You see Brandon Allen, of course, and all his success around USL coming from Georgetown. A number of other young New York Red Bulls players going there as well. Lima the latest, though. Can he guide his team to a win? We'll see coming up next on ESPN+. The inaugural weekend of the USL League One. Exciting news around the USL. Let's take a look at the championship first. The Tampa Bay Rowdies coming out flying to start the year. Dave Sarakin, in his first year as North Carolina FC coach, off to a perfect start. They will see this Memphis team next week. And John Hackworth still getting his feet wet in his second year with Louisville City FC. You see Memphis 901 in 10th place. Always tough your first year to start to establish a culture and a rhythm. And we'll see how they continue. It's going to be an amazing weekend of USL Championship action. A lot of good games, as you see there, but the biggest one, Austin Bold, in their brand new stadium, opening up tomorrow against their Texas rival, San Antonio. It's going to be one of the best games of the weekend, so make sure to tune in to that one. It's going to be a fun time across the USL Championship, and as I said, USL League One's first ever game, South Georgia Tormento FC right now, tied 0-0 with Greenville Triumph SC. Taking a look around what happened last week, Cameron Iwasa taking it to a next level, the all-time leading scorer in Sac Republic history, 3 goals in 11 minutes. And then Michael Chang powering Real Monarchs past LA Galaxy 2 to help push them up the Western Conference. And Jorge Herrera, one of the legends in the USL history for the Charlotte Independents, continuing to do what he does best. You take a look at the numbers for these two teams. As expected, New York Red Bull 2, slight possession advantage, 54-46 in this one. But for New York Red Bulls 2, they gave up 1 goal on 1 shot over the first 15 minutes, and then Memphis 901 found more of the attack as this game went along. There's 1 yellow card either way in this one. Should be a good one coming forward for these two teams. We've got more action coming up here on ESPN Plus for New York Red Bulls 2. 2 goals in that first half. Sachi, this Red Bull 2 team, struggling at times in the attack, but then finding 2 golden moments, which is all you need sometimes.
Yeah, that's soccer for you. Red Bulls have found success getting in the crosses. You know, I think that's one way they can, you know, beat this Memphis team that's sitting, you know, deep into their own half sometimes. You know, not many shots from on top of the 18. You know, you're not finding success there, so they're getting it wide and they're getting crosses in, and looks like it's working.
We'll see what the plan is for the second half. Tim Mulqueen, perfect start to the game, and his team giving up a late chance to close out the first half he will not be happy about. And Coach Wolinek's side still testing out this new style, this new formation, finding their feet here. We'll see how these two teams played out in the second half. We'll be back here on ESPN Plus.
With MSG Go, the game goes where you go. So you can watch live Red Bulls games anywhere you want. It's free and easy because if you get MSG, you get MSG Go. Watch your favorite team wherever you are with MSG Go, presented by Lexus. Download it for free where you get your apps.
Evan Lauro leading his troops back out on the field for the second half here at MSU Soccer Park. Gave up that early goal, his team able to fight back. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Sachi, before the game even started, Adam Najem, against his former club again, gets the opening strike.
Yeah, sleeping, outside back sleeping right there, and you know that we spoke about that a little bit. You know, Memphis is trying to outwork them on the flanks and trying to get the ball down wide.
Adam Najem gets his second goal against his former club, this time for the expansion side, Memphis 901 FC. Just the third goal in this franchise's history. It was the perfect start for Memphis. New York Red Bulls 2 didn't really know where the attack was going to come from, and then this opportunity for Jared Stroud.
Crosses, crosses, crosses. That's going to unlock them.
Stroud, 11 assists last year going to be an even more vital part of the attack, says Coach Wolenek, in 2019. And he gets his first goal of 2019, the finish off the volley. Not an easy one. Still had a lot to do.
Yeah, the difficulty level here is super high. With his left foot, inside of the foot, make sure he got it on frame.
Ben Mines gets the assist, his first of the season. Was forced off with injury later on in the first half. And then this final opportunity, the dying seconds of the first half, Tom Barlow equalizes.
Yeah, this ball could end up anywhere. You know, when you just put in a cross on the ground hard, you know, players are bound to get a bad touch, and, you know, Red Bulls happen to get a good one there and capitalize.
Upcoming schedule, New York Red Bulls 2 have yet to play on the road. They will head to expansion side Birmingham Legion next week and then follow that up with a trip to one of the best teams in the conference in the Charlotte Independents. On the flip side for Memphis 901, they finished this first ever road trip at North Carolina before going home to face Atlanta United 2. And then the first ever All-Tennessee matchup, Memphis 901 FC against Nashville SC, who we saw here at MSU Soccer Park last week. And that should be a really fun one. But first, we've got 45 more minutes to go here. Tom Barlow, Brian White playing up top together. What have you seen from those two strikers who are normally the sole center forward playing in this 4-2-2-2?
Well, just like we spoke about, Red Bulls, you know, they need targets in the box when they do end up crossing this ball. And, you know, when you have two forwards and they're battling, you know, it gives you a chance to get on the end of these crosses.
Two moves so far in this game. Abdi Mohammed coming on at right back for Wes Sharpie about 20 minutes before kickoff as Barlow gets into the box. Our head official, Matt Thompson, says no penalty as it looked like Barlow had maybe gotten pulled down before he even got to the ball.
Oh, he got away with that one.
Sachi Hott, an experienced center back here, saying a good opportunity. Mark Birch, the veteran, puts his left arm out.
Yeah, I think Mark Birch is kind of late to that, and, you know, he tried to make up for being caught, not on his heels. You know, he was trying to make up by sticking his arm out and got Tom Barlow where he probably shouldn't have.
Mark Birch, an expert in using that little bit of contact when he needs to throughout his long professional soccer career. Started with the LA Galaxy in 2006 and still playing now at the University of Maryland and Evansville. Spent most of his career with DC United as well as the Colorado Rapids, where he, of course, helped backstop one of the best defenses in league history in 2016 in front of course, Tim Howard. Brian White flicks that one over. So, an exciting first half, and then a quick start to this second half with a penalty kick claim in just the opening seconds. Turnover there from Scarlett.
Scarlett's got to keep it simple. He's got to find the open man.
I mentioned Abdi Mohammed coming on after the late scratch to Wes Sharpie, and then Ben Mines injured in the 35th minute. So Derek Etienne Jr. you see here on the ball coming on. Coach Wolenek said with a 1 p.m. Saturday game for New York Red Bulls, Chris Armas put his lineup together late, so Etienne Jr. not a chance to train with the team over the course of the week, and playing in this new formation gave him a chance to start on the bench and see things first, but probably didn't expect to introduce him this quickly.
Well, Derek's he already has familiarity with the team and the system, so it really shouldn't be a problem for him just jumping in and, you know, getting going with this group.
Muck it all the way back to the feet of Hodge. Hodge playing through a late injury in the first half, but fine to come back here in the second. Tristan Hodge on loan from West Connection in his native Trinidad and Tobago. Played 82 minutes in that World Cup qualifying win over the USA. Just played a full 90 against Wales over the most recent international break. Birch here, 34 years old, out of Cincinnati.
Let's go. Good hold-up play.
Hackworth here, breaking into the box, looking to find a teammate. Cuts it across, space in the box now. A tackle put in, and finally cleared, but only as far as Najem. Najem around 3 Red Bull 2 players, and he couldn't complete the play. Now a free kick going in favor of Memphis 901. Muckett, Najem, and Hackworth causing chaos for the New York Red Bull 2 backline.
Well, that starts with Grandison intercepting a pass to the target forward. You know, they get the ball back, and then they're off to the races, and now he ends up drawing a foul.
Juan Grandison, the Jamaican veteran, having another fantastic performance for Coach Mulqueen's side. So a dangerous free kick coming here. Mark Birch with the left foot, Najem with the right foot. It'll be Birch to take, curled over, Lauro gets the save.
What a save.
Second opportunity, and Lauro recovers it once again. Huge moment for Evan Lauro.
Yeah, that's all. That was a fantastic save. That was also well struck by Mark.
Birch here with that left foot. Lauro at full extension going across the goal.
When a center back can strike a free kick, that's always a plus.
And Birch, a guy, as we said, played a lot of fullback at the MLS level. And over the course of his 234 MLS appearances, had a season with 7 assists, as well as having 3 goals, 9 assists in his DC United career.
So you see Dan Metzger and Grandison are doing a great job staying in front of the back four and denying Red Bull any chance of playing down the middle.
Grandison and Metzger, their first time this season playing together, but Sachi, they look like they've played together for years.
Yeah, that's soccer IQ. That's tactical awareness. That's them just being good individual players.
Daly beating 3 players, and then his left-footed cross on the hands of the goalkeeper. But Rashawn Daly showing what he can do. Daly out of Quinnipiac University, drafted in the 2nd round this year by FC Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati, after all their success in the USL, moving to Major League Soccer here in 2019, where they've also had success. They are potentially a win away from being the most successful expansion franchise over the first 5 games.
Oh, that's a pretty interesting stat.
There you go.
Good stuff, Dave.
That's what I brought you, Sachi. That's what happens. If you come hang out on a Friday night, you get some good nuggets.
That was a good one.
Kofi comes back to recover. What have you seen from Jean-Christophe Kofi? He's not from the Red Bull Academy, but he's a player that these coaches really seem to like.
No, it looks like he's done a good job adapting to the system. I think he's more of a bruiser guy that's just going to cover ground and break up play, and that allows Lima to operate. He's doing a good job.
Some minutes to earn in that central midfield with Tyler Adams moving over, Christian Caceres, who manned center midfield for New York Red Bulls to all of 2018. His minutes might be limited here, so there's space, as well as, of course, Andrew Tenari, who wore the armband, and Vincent Bezecourt. At times, those two seem like they won't. Andrew Tenari moving on to another team, and Bezecourt with the MLS side. So there's minutes to earn in that central midfield for these young Red Bull 2 players.
That's all you can ask for as a player. A chance to fight for playing time.
Etienne Jr. with a little bit of space. Hits that early cross to the far post. Stroud brings this one down. His cross blocked by Mohammed.
You see, Dave, every time there's a cross in, there's an opportunity or chance.
A shot coming from that deflection.
Red Bulls just got to keep pounding them that way, and they'll get their 3rd one.
Stroud here, putting that cross in. When you talked to Coach Wolenek before the game, he said, with this formation, our fullbacks are going to be a little safer, not push up as much. Would you like to see them go a little bit more to give more crossing opportunities?
I think just because this is the first time they're playing this style, you know, the safe route is to keep your fullbacks home. And as they get more comfortable playing in this formation, then you can possibly have them, you know, join the attack a little more. But, you know, a little safer approach for now.
White with the flick on. And Caldwell reads that one. And he's out to clear it. Now Rito bringing it back down the field. An interesting matchup in that you've got John Wolenek, a striker in his career, Tim Mulqueen, a goalkeeper. We've seen really successful goalkeepers become really successful coaches. Bruce Arena, of course, one of them for the U.S. As a player, you were a defender. Now you're a coach. Does how you play affect how you want your teams to play?
I don't know. I mean, as a defender, you see the game more, and you have to read the game more. So I think that helps you in a way. But, you know, I think it's an imperfect science. I don't think that you can, you know, pin it on, you know, defenders will be the best coaches or goalies will be the best coaches. I think it's more of personality and knowledge and, you know, understanding of the game. But as defenders, you know, we get to see the game a little more and we get to read it. So
that's
I
what
think
goalkeepers say, too.
Do they really?
Yeah, because goalkeepers say we see everything.
Yeah, but they're too far away from the game. They're too far away. They might as well be bystanders watching the game.
You're not part of the goalkeeper union,
no,
are you?
No.
Not a whole lot of friends in that union.
We have that advantage.
Tim Mulqueen, of course, part of that union, has coached basically every great up-and-coming young goalkeeper in the United States from 1995 all the way through the 2008 U.S. Olympic team. Some of the most successful U17, U20, and Olympic squads.
There he is again.
Grandison with the interception. And Daly is knocked off the ball. Etienne Jr. trying to go direct for Barlow. Barlow has it stuck in his spokes. Now Stroud back on it. Stroud looking into the feet of White. White shot gets deflected off the crossbar. Stroud now back on. He clips this one across the goal. It lands at Etienne Jr.'s feet. Derek Etienne with the right-footed shot, and he puts it past Caldwell. The New York Red Bulls, too, were knocking, and finally, Etienne Jr. kicks right through the door. I asked you what Etienne Jr. would bring coming off the bench. You said a little bit more skill, composure. Shows it in this one.
Well, that's a fantastic ball by Derek Etienne to start the play. You know, Tom Barlow makes a great run. Etienne plays it over the top. And again, another cross. Another cross gives him an opportunity, and he takes advantage of it. There's that dribbling ability that we were talking about earlier in the game.
The dribble from Etienne Jr. and then the pile driver to sneak it between the post and Caldwell. Derek Etienne Jr., his first goal in USL play in 2019, only had one in 2018 as he spent the bulk of his time in Major League Soccer.
Okay, so Memphis is down 2 goals now on the road. Let's see if they try to stop the bleeding or, you know, go all in and try to get 2 goals, tie this game up.
They have Junior Sandoval on the bench as well as another Caribbean full international in Leston Paul. And we'll see how Coach Mulqueen chooses to use his subs. He's already got 1 sub off the bench ready to come on to react to that goal.
Yeah, they have a tough task at hand right now. Let's see if Red Bulls can really open up the floodgates and really go for the kill. Because a 2-goal cushion is still, you know, not the end of the game. You know, Memphis could get 2 chances and, you know, quickly tie this thing up.
Against Swope Park Rangers in the home opener, New York Red Bulls, who struggled to get that 3rd goal. A foul here, a dangerous situation. Our head official, Matthew Thompson, has his hand in the pocket for a card. And it looked like Muckett was taken down from behind. You have to think potential there for a red card.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He didn't. Oh.
And it will be a yellow card.
So he didn't call the penalty, and now he's not calling the red card. So maybe that's because he didn't call the penalty.
You have to think maybe because Mucket's not in full possession in on goal, it's more.
Or that too. Let's take a look at this replay.
He's still fighting through Scarlett and Rito to get there rather than getting dragged down from behind. But
That
you're
could be
making a
it.
face. It could have been a red card.
It could have been a red card.
So Dan Metzger's night is done here. Metzger returning to his native New Jersey. What do you think of the performance from Metzger?
I'm telling you, these guys, these two sixes did a great job of disrupting Red Bull's play, man. I think they did a fantastic job. I think as a coach, you want players to take care of their responsibilities and their duties. And, Metzger and Grandison have done a great job sitting in front of the two center backs.
And I think we've stressed throughout this game the experience difference between New York Red Bulls 2 and this Memphis 901 FC team. Even though an expansion squad, Leston Paul coming on has 14 caps for the Trinidad and Tobago national team, 29 years old at a University of South Florida. So you make a sub, but you're still bringing on quality and experience against the young New York Red Bull 2 team.
Must be nice, huh? Must be nice as a coach to have someone with that much experience come onto the game. But like we were saying before, look, all of these goals that have happened, today have been coming off crosses in the flanks. That's because, Grandison and Metzger have been doing a good job of just sitting in the midfield and making it hard for Red Bulls, who are known to get so many bodies in centrally in top of the box, and their intricate play. They're struggling with that aspect tonight. So what are they doing? They're just getting the ball wide, crossing it in, and that's how all their chances are coming from.
Scarlett now coming over to talk to the coaching staff. Sachi, what's the focus here? 30 minutes left. You've got a 2-goal lead. What are you saying to your veteran center back?
Well, he's got to be an orchestrator and kind of command this game. Let's see what happens here on this free kick. But, if Red Bulls do get lucky and no goal happens here, then he's got to make sure that, everyone's staying concentrated and locked in.
Set piece coming here. Birch hits it again, and this time Laurel can't stand up to it. Mark Birch, 2 bites at the apple, and he's got this lead cut in half.
What were we saying? 3-1. So dangerous. So dangerous. Now we have a game on our hands.
Last time Birch put it over the left side of the wall, tried to sneak it in the far post. This time, Sachi, he rips it to the right side and beats it off the hands of Evan Laurel.
That's great technique, man. That's great technique. And the goalkeeper is probably thinking that he's going to go the other way. And he beats him. Look at this. 60 minutes into the game and we have 5 goals. What'd I tell you? These guys are fantastic to watch.
It is always fun out here at MSU Soccer Park. You are in the area. Make sure to come take a trip down. So we've had a stoppage because Dwayne Muckett had blood on his jersey. So he had to exchange jerseys. Now we have a substitution coming as well. So Josh Morton's coming on, it looks like, in place of Abdi Mohammed. And you can hear Tim Mulqueen still upset that there was no red card shown on the last opportunity. As Muckett comes back on now wearing a different jersey because of the blood. And Sachi, you were really impressed by Abdi Mohammed over the 60 minutes that he had here as a last-second starter.
Oh, yeah, he's done a fantastic job. He's had a good shift, getting up and down the field. Not also is he attacking, but he's also taking responsibility in defending. As attacking fullbacks, they tend to, lack in the defensive department, but he did a good job of doing both.
Josh Morton out of Michigan, spent 2018 with the Tulsa Roughnecks after graduating from the University of California. He gets his first opportunity of the 2019 season for Memphis 901 FC. And you can hear the crowd into this one. 30 minutes to go. 5 goals so far between these two teams. And both coaching staffs feel like they've been robbed. Both these teams have put on a show. This is going to be a fun one to finish here at MSU Soccer Park.
And it happens to be on my first time commentating.
I don't think it's a coincidence. I give you credit, Sachi. Although, as a center back, bringing goals may not be a good thing for you, but we'll take them.
Yeah, we'll take them. I'd take that trade off.
Lima flicks this one over the top. Who's up, who's down, where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings, only on USLChampionship.com. And don't forget, USL League One kicking off today, this weekend, so make sure to stick to all the USL channels over the weekend for as much soccer as you can handle.
That was good hold-up play by Brian White. Let's see if he can get the attack going, stimulated now. You know, the Red Bulls got to respond to that. They got to see if they can try to kill this game off. The longer they let Memphis sit in this game, you know, the worse it's going to get.
Muckett with the long ball over the top. So he earned the foul to get Birch that free kick opportunity. And now all of a sudden New York Red Bull 2 went from in cruise control to panic mode as Memphis 901 looks to lead their way back here on the road. Sachi, we started out this game by saying new team for Memphis. A loss in your first game, tying your second, winning your third. No matter what, you have to say a positive performance for Tim Mulqueen's
Oh, yeah,
side.
for sure, man, for sure. You know what else I was going to bring up? It's super interesting because Red Bulls go up with a 3-1 lead. Most teams would pack it in and, you know, sit back and try to defend and protect that.
Hackworth in the box now. His cutback blocked by Nealis.
Yeah, they try to protect that, you know, 2-goal cushion. But with the Red Bulls and the whole development aspect, you know, these guys stay true to their colors and try to keep going and keep going and keep going.
And now Memphis 901 trying to make them pay for it. Mark Birch will take this one. We've seen how dangerous he can be on dead ball opportunities. All 11 players in the box to defend right now for New York Red Bulls 2. We've got a substitute up, so we'll get that after this corner kick. Cross played in. Laurel gets a hand to it. Birch almost sneaking that one in on the far side.
That really almost did sneak in, huh?
Why not an Olympico to add to all of the insanity we have seen so far in this one? David Goss and Sachi Hot on the call for you here on ESPN Plus. Memphis 901 FC trying to drag back from 2 goals down. Header on goal, put off the crossbar, still alive in the box and cleared by Lima.
Okay, let's see if they can weather this storm. Now Memphis are on the front foot. Let's see if Red Bulls, a relatively young team, let's see if they can handle adversity.
Grandison keeps the attack going. Cross played in, alive in the box, just misses Daly. Najem's shot is saved by Loro, and Loro is up and furious with his back line.
As he should be, you know, as he should be. He's standing on his head right now.
Finally, Coach Wolenek's going to get his substitution here. So Kyle Zajic coming on the field. Zajic out of the New York Red Bull Academy. One of the many players coming through the Georgetown system out of Westport, Connecticut. And he comes on for Jean-Christophe Kofi.
You think he's injured?
Seems to be holding a little.
Let's see how this changes the formation or tactics or player personnel. Let's see. Let's see. The next 5 minutes are going to be super interesting in this game.
Corner kick coming, play to the far post. This ball back in. Buckmaster wins that header. Najem's the first one to it. Grandison just putting it in dangerous areas right now, allowing Muckett, Najem, and Daly to create the danger. Switch to the field here for Morton. Zuitz will come in place like for like for Christophe Kofi. So a center midfielder to partner Chris Lima. And the Memphis bench demanding a handball, but didn't look like it from our perch.
Oh, that was everything that Red Bulls needed right there. You know, kind of take take the pressure off the back four and the defense. Now they're going to settle in, and they're going to kill some time, maybe take away some momentum from Memphis.
Instead, Stroud goes for the early ball. White with the sliding attempt, and it'll go out for a goal kick. But he said it, Sachi. Most teams would take their foot off the gas.
No, these guys, man, they keep going. They keep going. That's what I love so much about them.
Take a look at this replay. Stroud with the dangerous ball behind the back line.
You know, it might drive Walniak a little crazy sometimes, but, you know, these guys are fearless.
And it's happened every year he's been here. So clearly he believes in it as well and coaches these kids to keep pushing, or coaches these young teams.
Mm-hmm.
Rito now, the right back flying forward. Gets by Paul. And a big tackle there from Grandison. What a performance for Ewan Grandison, 27-year-old out of Jamaica.
You know, not many people will see that in this game, but he's been an unsung hero for Memphis in this performance.
Fans, you can follow New York Red Bulls Sioux and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus. Watch the championship live every week. Etienne Jr. right now has the game-winning goal. He puts the cross in. Swept away by Morton. And Rito keeping possession. Zuitz goes wide. Etienne Jr. with a low cross. That one blocked on the initial post by Hodge and out for a corner kick. So it's a corner kick coming here for New York Red Bulls still. Kyle Zuitz out of the New York Red Bull Academy. Played with New York Red Bulls too before he went to Georgetown. Now out of college back again as Rito's cross is blocked.
This is good for New York Red Bulls because it pretty much killed Memphis's momentum. Now let's see if they can, you know, go for the fourth goal here.
Lima to take. Floated to the far post. Collision at that far post. And Matt Thompson right on top of that one, and he waves it off. He's had a few big decisions to make here in the second half. Sachi. Memphis not happy with the no red card on the collision between Scarlett on the goal, on the set piece for Muckett. New York Red Bulls too not happy with a couple of these calls.
Yeah, and that potential penalty to start the second half. So
overall even.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for the ref.
And Sachi, you've been around. Another big battle as Scarlett and Daly jump to their feet. Matthew Thompson right in the middle of that one as Scarlett walks away. He is sitting on a yellow card, so he has to be careful.
Yeah, he has to be super, super careful because that can...
And the yellow card now for Daly.
That can really change up everything for the Red Bulls. Johnny, Walniak's got to be thinking now, you know, do I possibly take him out or, you know, do I take the risk and let him stay in this game with a yellow?
So 2 subs already made for Coach Walniak. So he's got 1 more change that he can make. He's got Preston Kilween on the bench, a 6'2" left back and center back, Sean McSherry, a utility player, and then 2 attacking pieces in Amaro D'Souza and Marcus Epps. On the flip side, still 1 more sub potential for Coach Mulqueen. He has less options on the bench because of the late change to his roster, but still has an attacking player in Junior Sandoval he can go to. Opportunity here, knocked away, and it'll be a corner kick coming for New York. So that third goal, New York Red Bulls 2 have weathered the storm now. They've gotten themselves back into this game.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That question that we asked after Memphis scored their second goal, is New York going to weather this storm? And it looks like they have.
Now we'll see if either team still has one more dagger in them. The low cross at the near post. It'll go back out for another corner. Chris Lima has captained this New York Red Bull 2 team over the last 2 years, trying to lead this squad to what would be an undefeated start to this home 3-game stand. Knocked away, still alive, Zuitz. And Zuitz's shot took a deflection and went over the crossbar.
Oh, his eyes must have lit up when he saw that ball come into him.
But who else but Grandison to get in there and make the play?
I'm telling you, it's not going to go on the stat sheet, but this guy has had a fantastic game.
You can see from behind Caldwell all the chaos going on in front of him, so he's always going to struggle if a shot like that gets through.
Chris doing a good job of just slowing the game down and not rushing this corner kick.
It'll be Lima to take once again, this time an in-swinger. Hit right on Caldwell's hands, and he controls that one. Memphis, all 11 players in the box to defend, so no one to counter through. You've got 15 minutes left here, Sachi. If you're Memphis, what do you want to do to try and get a road point?
At this point, you go all in. Remember we asked that, if you go all in or just try to stop the bleeding? You know, you made it this far, you're on the road. You might as well just go all in and try to get a point. Because they've been playing well. They've been playing really well.
Stroud here. He's able to get a cross away. Pratzner with the clearance. And Buckmaster will let that one run out. When you say go all in, do you throw numbers forward? Do you pull guys from the back? Do you get someone in there next to Daly up top, or do you leave things the way they are?
No. I mean, you send numbers forward. You know, the way that Memphis are playing right now is sort of a little more reserved, and I'd have both outside backs flying up. I mean, if Mulqueen can make another offensive sub that can help them out up top, I would definitely go for that.
You can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for New York Red Bulls 2, Memphis 901 FC, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on New York Red Bulls 2 next match, as well as Memphis 901 FC. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow. New York Red Bulls 2 will face off against Birmingham Legion on the road next week for the first time ever, and Memphis 901 continue their expansion season. They match up against North Carolina FC down in the Triangle against Dave Sarakin's boys, who are 2-0 so far this year. Mark Birch not happy with that call at all. Coach Mulqueen and Coach Wolonek have been yelling and laughing the entire game at our fourth official.
Someone's going to be laughing and someone's going to be crying at the end of this game.
It has been intense, to say the least. These two teams have never played against each other, of course, but you have multiple former Red Bull Academy players in this Memphis 901 team, former Red Bull 2 players. Tim Mulqueen coming back to his native New Jersey, where he made his name as one of the best goalkeeper coaches and coaches in general in the country. So you thought this one might have a little something in it. 2 goals the first 18 minutes, a goal in stoppage time of the first half, a penalty kick claim and a red card claim in the second half, and a 3-2 game. I think we've gotten that so far.
You couldn't have gave me an easier game to start. You gave me this one.
We're going to have you back. You're going to bring goals like this. Goal kick coming here for New York. Final sub of the game coming for New York Red Bulls 2. Marcus Epps will come on for Brian White. Brian White gets 78 minutes under his belt, a little bit more than he got last week as he comes back from an off-season injury. He's a guy you've seen play for a number of years here. What have you thought of his performance today?
I thought it was, average. I think that he's capable of way more, and the whole team is. And, I wouldn't be going home saying, hey, I've played my best game tonight. I think that, he's going to be a little upset that he could have done more.
Epps will come on the right side, so New York Red Bulls 2 will switch to a 4-2-3-1. Stroud sitting in between Etienne Jr. and Epps behind Tom Barlow. And that potentially can alleviate some of the issues New York Red Bulls 2 were having with the two fullbacks getting forward for Memphis.
Okay, looks like we're just going back to Barlow by himself up top.
As Hackworth takes that shot pulled wide. Marcus Epps, in his third professional year, had a bright start to his pro career with Bethlehem and the Philadelphia Union over the last few years. Has had a great start here, 1 goal, 2 assists in his first 2 games with New York Red Bulls too.
Yeah, you see Red Bulls are going with a 4-2-3-1 now, and that's because there's 10 minutes left and they probably want to hold on to this lead.
So Zuitz and Lima in that central midfield, trying to protect that New York Red Bull 2 back line. And you have to tip your cap to this young Red Bull 2 team. Not just the game states, but the emotions of this game that they've controlled. As Daly now charging in, looking for the feed into Gem. Scarlett, at the exact moment he had to make the tackle in the box. And then a goal kick won.
What a tackle from Scarlett, man, because he read that. It was a 2-on-1 for Memphis, and Scarlett played the safe route and ended up with a fantastic tackle.
I was going to say, for Scarlett, you had the crowd jumping out towards the field, him getting in a tussle with Daly. Mentally, he's been able to recover from that and stay involved in the game.
Yeah, when he's into it, I've never seen him perform better. When he gets into it and he starts flying around, he could be one of the best center backs in this area.
Hackworth battling with Buckmaster. Scarlett now, straight up the middle of the field. And Barlow to chase, and calmly done by the 12-year pro veteran.
Yeah, that's experience right there.
Mark Birch probably has hairs in his ponytail older than Tom Barlow. Showing every bit of that. Stroud now. As New York Red Bulls 2 have that final nail to put in the coffin. Can Memphis and 901 FC fight back for what would be a fantastic start for them, as Barlow's header at the near post?
That's better from Lima, getting involved and, putting in those crosses. Also, well done by Barlow getting on the end of that. It becomes harder now because there's one forward, and now it's just Barlow in the middle trying to be on the end of any cross.
But to close out a game, Coach Wolenek said Tom Barlow's the fastest player on the team. So,
oh, is he really?
That's what he said.
Another nugget.
That's what you get.
Yeah, another nugget.
But that's who you want.
Well, he's a handful.
Behind center backs.
Right, he's a handful. He's awkward. He's going to make life hard for center backs. Just when you think you can take off mentally, Barlow will be there to disrupt.
And that's what he did against Swope Park Rangers, getting the stoppage time goal to seal that one, which was really just pure effort on his end, running on the back shoulder of a center back. Daly has been a handful. What do you think of his game?
That's a perfect matchup for someone as young as Scarlett, and it really shows what kind of player you are. And Daly's really using his experience to go up against maybe a younger center back.
Daly has at times controlled that New York Red Bull 2 back line. He's been a threat. And this has been the biggest threat of the game, a Mark Birch set piece coming up.
He's not only a center back, man.
Birch with that dangerous left foot. He already has a goal off a set piece. Can he set one up? Initial header won by Lima. Stroud now. You can hear Coach Mulqueen telling his players to recover here.
Memphis does a good job of, getting back and slowing down that Red Bulls offense.
8 white shirts back behind the ball already. Epps now coming forward. Sackett takes it away. Lima now late to that one, and Hodge keeps possession. Daly with the layoff.
Great hold-up play. Great link-up play.
Shaun Daly continuing to shine in this one. Grandison coming forward. Not exactly where he's most comfortable.
Okay, that wasn't bad from Jordan. That sometimes you need to do that as a center back. 83rd minute.
The final sub coming here for Memphis 901. Todd Pratzner, the center back, going off in place of the forward and junior Sandoval. So 84th minute here, Sachi. Now Tim Mulqueen throwing all his chips in.
All in, go for it.
An 11th minute goal by Adam Nujem, his second career goal against his former club.
What a touch. Did you see that? Walniak still got it.
Coach Wolonek maybe trying to get a tryout for his own team here later on.
He's just trying to show up these young guys.
Maybe a quick debut with FC Motown. You never know. As long as there's minutes in the area.
Stop.
Jared Stroud equalized in the 18th minute off of Ben Mines cross. Tom Barlow with the second goal in stoppage time of the first half. A backbreaker for Memphis 901 FC. They then saw Derek Etienne double the lead in the 56th minute, but they have battled back heroically here in the second half. Their veteran captain, Mark Birch, with his first career goal in the USL Championship in the 61st minute off a direct free kick as we stand here at 3-2. Stroud turns that one over. So both teams have made all 3 substitutions. These will be at least the 11 we see finish, although at times it seemed like there wouldn't be 22 on the field at the end of this one.
Yeah,
it's been scrappy.
Yeah, it's been scrappy. Let's see. This is all about game management now. New York Red Bulls are a relatively young team. Let's see if they can manage this game to the end.
And one of the things Coach Mulqueen knows about this Red Bull 2 team is they've struggled when teams have gone direct at them. He's got more strikers in there. Stroud out wide for Epps. Epps one-on-one. Looking to get to his right foot. Has a shot blocked. Barlow's back heel blocked. Etienne Jr. now saved by Caldwell and cleared by Birch.
Whoa.
What a sequence. At the doorstep, New York Red Bulls 2 denied multiple times by Memphis.
Oh, he's going to want that one back.
Epps gets to his right foot here. Barlow's back heel blocked. And here's the save from Jeff Caldwell.
Wow, way to stay with the play and get that vital save. He keeps his team in the game.
And then Birch recovering and keep his team going forward. New York Red Bulls 2 inches from sealing this one, but Memphis still alive.
As my dad used to say, you don't score those type of chances, then you get scored on. Let's see.
And Memphis now, they have Sandoval in there, so they have a second center forward option alongside Daly if they want to pump some long throws or long balls into the box. And it is Daly and Sandoval linking up. Sackett to chase this one. Excuse me, Muckett to chase this one. Grandison cuts by the first player. Finds the feet of Paul. Paul's long shot. He's had a quiet appearance off the bench.
Now we got 3 minutes left. I'm sure Red Bulls aren't going to, rush to take anything and slow this game down because Memphis are going for it right now. They're going all in.
It's also Roughnecks continuing their phenomenal start to the season. A 2-0 lead against Rio Grande Valley. As we've said, ESPN Plus, your site for all of your USL Championship games. It's going to be a great weekend of action. It's been an up and down start out west for a number of the favorite teams. It's been a hot start for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, as well as North Carolina leading the East. Right now, Memphis 901 trying to jump up the standings. New York Red Bulls 2 trying to stay in the top 5. Najem clips it back. Header won by Rito.
Najem making those runs to the corner flags, man. It's disrupting, it's moving the Red Bulls defense. It's making it hard on them. As a center back, you're always looking left and right to see where that number 10 is and where he's going. So he's doing a good job of just, keeping these center backs aware of what's going on.
A mistaken pass there from Hodge. Turns possession over. Now Lima. The New York Red Bulls, too, haven't put their foot on the ball and gone to the corner yet. Zuitz, with bodies around him, down the line. Etienne Jr.'s in an onside position. He's got Barlow and Epps. Looking to go himself, Etienne Jr., and it's saved by Caldwell.
Caldwell does a great job coming off his line and closing down the space there.
And now Memphis 901 in a rush. Najem, he has done everything he could in this one to try and lead his team to a road result here as we enter the final minute of regular time. Fourth official still yet to put up stoppage time. Birch comes over to handle that one. New York Red Bulls 1-0-1 to start the year here at home. Trying to make it 2 out of 3.
I'm not sure why Rito gets that ball and then he tries to get forward as fast as he can. He had so much space in front of him. He just got to sit on it. Slow it down.
As Loro does right now, and our fourth official finally flashing the time. Over on that sideline, it'll be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time here. Is that enough time for Memphis 901?
Yes, sir. The fans are happy.
Fans have had a good one here. $1 hot dog night. So plenty of smoke-dried case meats.
Oh, God.
A bevy of beverages to select from as well here at MSU Soccer Park. And 5 goals, along with a couple red card and PK claims to go along with it. To watch 2 tri-state area legends in John Wolenek and Tim Mulqueen go to battle here.
Offside.
Daly in an offside position as his volley goes just over the top.
And we had a nice break of weather. Today's been a nice day.
High 50 degrees, no rain.
No rain, yep. Couldn't ask for more.
Spring's on the way. Soccer's back.
Yeah, baby.
This is what we've been waiting for. I got 2 wins this week in rec league.
Did you really?
Just saying. 2 1-0 wins. It's all about defending, right?
It's all about defending, man. I'm telling you.
Laura with the long ball. This game has not been a defensive masterclass, but it has been fun to watch from start to finish. New York Red Bulls too have enough in the tank to see this one out. Scarlett clears that one off Daly. Now chased down by Sandoval. And Thompson blows the whistle for a foul against Junior Sandoval.
Jordan does a good job of taking in contact and then going down there. That's almost like a veteran foul.
Junior Sandoval, born in Honduras, raised in Georgia, coming off the bench for this one. There's Scarlett is helped up. Jordan Scarlett, though, has had a lot of work to do in this one. The battles with Daly, as you've said, dealing with Najem, a danger from Muckett and Hackworth off the wings.
Oh, yeah, this hasn't been an easy night for him. This really put him to the test. But as a center back, that's what you want, because those games where you don't do much, it gets boring, you can tune out, you can zone out, So, he's probably liking this right now. He's getting better.
Barlow making himself a menace to Caldwell. Now in an offside position. Birch with the mistake. Barlow.
This is better. Just slow it down. Find the corners.
A minimum of 4 minutes to play, but that's just the minimum. Etienne Jr. there puts on a show in the corner. He's already got a goal, but adding to that highlight reel. And now he takes a little bit of a clip on his heel, but that's some of the magic You came
That's
for
what
it.
happens when you put it through someone's legs.
Yeah, you get clipped.
Yeah, you expect to get clipped.
Hodge with the long ball. He's got targets ahead of him. Scarlett wins another header. Lima immediately back the other way.
Lima's got to get the corner there. Tom's got to make that. Barlow's got to make that run to the corner flag, and Lima's got to know to play him over there.
Ball over the top. Daly and Scarlett battling once again. Najem gets a touch to it. He collided with Daly, and Epps wins the header. New York Red Bulls, too, refuse to put their foot on the ball to kill this one. Memphis 901 getting chances. Nealis wins the first header. Grandison now into the feet of Hackworth. Laid off for Sandoval. Buckmaster pressured. Can't clear his lines, but he gets a second bite at it. And now Etienne Jr. into open space. More white than red jerseys coming, but he puts it in the path of Barlow, who collides with one player, and a penalty coming here for New York Red Bulls too, and that'll most likely do it.
Instead of going to the corner, he's still going for that through ball.
And Tom Barlow, 90 minutes of running.
That's that, that drive and that passion. As a coach, you want that from your forward. 90th minute, and he's still making the hardest sprint of his life.
Etienne Jr. with that through ball. Barlow busting to get between Paul and Hodge. And Hodge went down to the ground first. Barlow goes over. And it'll be a penalty kick coming in. It seems like Coach Wolenek knows he has to give Barlow the chance to put this one away himself. Tom Barlow, 3 goals already in 3 games this season. Exploding in his second year in the professional game. And he looks to seal a win here for New York Red Bulls too, and it's saved by Caldwell. The twists and turns are not done in this one.
Oh my God.
And Caldwell here diving to make the save.
Wow, I mean, there's plenty of pace on that. That's just a fantastic save. Ooh, that was a really, really good save.
He reads it. Barlow puts it on the ground.
Okay, now they got to kill the game. They're not going for this corner kick.
Now New York Red Bulls, too, it looks like will go to the corner. Derek Etienne Jr. continuing to put on a little bit of a show. Mark Birch is furious with the New York Red Bulls, too. Maybe sees a little disrespect in what's been going on.
Oh, yeah.
Sachi Hott feels disrespected, and he's not even on the field.
Oh, yeah.
But as you said, the Harlem Globetrotters.
I'm telling you, man,
USL.
these guys are the Montclair Globetrotters of USL.
Goal scoring, flair, and fights galore. It was a fun one here at MSU Soccer Park. A 3-2 victory for New York Red Bulls 2 in their first ever match against Memphis 901 FC. Means New York Red Bulls 2 go undefeated on this 3-game homestand to start the season. They move to 7 points. Sachi, after a little bit of a breath, what do you make of this game?
What I tell you guys, I mean, I've been talking about it for the last year. These guys are the most entertaining, team in New Jersey and New York. Red Bulls started off slow, and they got lucky in the first half to go into halftime at 2-1. In the second half, they were a little better. But, Memphis as well.
We'll be back in just a moment with your post game. Sachi's got a lot to say. He's a little overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
We'll be back. 3-2 win by New York Red Bulls 2 here on ESPN+. Brian White gets his first of the game.
Lancaster denied by Laurel.
His low shot off the post and in. Jared Stroud's got his hat trick. New York Red Bulls 2 take a 4-goal lead. A beautiful one under the lights at MSU Soccer Park to start what is going to be a fun weekend of soccer in the USL Championship. New York Red Bulls 2, a 3-2 win. Sachi, final thoughts on this one?
All right, so, Memphis came out strong. They got an early goal. Red Bulls came out a little more flat. And like we know in soccer, sometimes when you are playing bad, you can still end up winning. So that happens with Red Bulls. They go into halftime 2-1. Red Bulls come out second half, again a little flat, and they did a good job of weathering the storm, around the 60th minute with Memphis coming in strong, trying to get that equalizer. And, just like the game ended up, with a crazy penalty kick. I mean, what more can we ask for, honestly?
End-to-end action. New York Red Bulls 2 start the year undefeated on a 3-game homestand. Memphis 9-1 in their first year. They're on their way to a strong season in the USL Championship. For myself, David Goss, and Sachi Hott, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.